Hi there and welcome. We're just over a month into the new year. How are you doing with your New Year's resolutions? A common top 10 resolution is getting organized. So join us for a conversation on uncovering the why behind the resolution to organize your photos and memories so that you keep motivated. I'm Philip Griffith with PSG Photo Solutions in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm joined today by Diana Uricchio of OXO Digital Organizing in Orlando, Florida, and Patty Hopp of Pictures of You in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We're all certified photo managers who help our clients organize their photo collections and more. So many people start off the year with high expectations of getting their photos and memorabilia organized. But too often that lofty goal falls by the wayside because organizing your photos isn't necessarily fun, and it often takes more time than most people expect. So, Diana, what are some ways and some that people can get through that stuck or mire so that they actually complete the job of organizing their photos?
Well, Philip, I cannot tell you how many clients have admitted that they really struggled with getting this kind of project started. My advice when this happens is I really think you need to get to that why. And more specifically, you need to get to the who behind the project. Ask yourself, who do you love? Who are you really doing this for? Who's going to be most appreciative of the fact that you've gotten through this organization project? For some, the answer is it's themselves. It's all about just making life simple, being able to find your pictures and knowing they're backed up. For other folks, it's about their parents. It's really not uncommon that there's a portion of our collections that are actually our parents' photos or grandparents' photos. And in that case, it's about honoring that history and making sure you're respecting those memories. For other folks, it's about the kids. And sometimes we all have kids, and it's about documenting their achievements and all that they're doing in their lives and having something to pass on to them when they get into adulthood. For others, it's about future generations and having the stories to leave as a legacy so that your grandkids and great-grandkids know who you are. Then you can take it a step further and ask yourself the question, what will happen if you don't organize these photos? Is there a chance that you're going to lose all of your photos in a flood or fire? Is there a possibility that you're not going to be able to find the right photos for your child's senior class yearbook page? Or is there a chance that you're going to have a blank spot in your family history because you never got around to asking mom and dad questions about long lost relatives? These are the questions that I feel like will really help people get over the hump and actually take action into organizing their photos. And once you do all that, then you can get to the fun stuff. And Patty, I think you've got some advice on where folks can find those pictures.
Absolutely. Thank you, Diana. When we start working with clients, we find clients have photos still left on many old cell phones. We can open up drawers and file cabinets and find 5 or 6 cell phones. We can find external hard drives that people may have put a few photos on it because the kids needed them for a project in school. We find photos in old computers that are often stored in office closets or in different locations throughout the house, iPads. Any electronic device still may hold photos that were once stored on them. And we need to begin gathering all these photos. They could be in boxes in a basement. You may have print photos from grandma, or your mom may have given them to you and you just put them in the basement. Well, I'll get to them someday. Or you may have photos in storage. Hopefully you don't have them in storage units because we don't like that with the temperature not being controlled. But we start by gathering all of the photos together in one location and creating a photo hub so that we can start working from one spot and then figure out from there what we need to do with the photos and what direction we're going to go with those photos. And as we do that, we start moving forward. As we found out the why, as Diana said, why we are working on it, who we're doing this for, where those photos are, then the next thing we need to think about are the photos that we continue taking as we're still working on organizing these photos. And as we're moving forward, I suggest, and I'm sure many of my colleagues would agree with me, that we continue to take these day-to-day normal pictures. Because right now what's normal is not going to be normal in 6 months. If someone would have asked you a year ago to take a normal picture, it's going to look a little different than what normal does this year. Many of us have converted over our dining room tables so our husbands or family members can work remotely. The kids are often working at countertops in kitchens because they're working remotely on their computers. So you're going to want to take pictures. As silly as this may sound right now, you're going to want to take pictures of this because these are the things you're going to want to remember. We think now as we're in the middle of it, oh, we'll remember that. Just like when our kids first started walking and talking, oh, I'll remember that. Well, as a mom of a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old, you eventually forget some of that stuff. I suggest that you document it now so that you'll have that in your family legacy and with your family's location of all of their photos. You want to continue to keep your favorite photos in front of you. So take some of your favorite photos, get them in beautiful frames and hang them on the wall. Keep a photo or two of your favorite ones near your desk. If you're working at home or if you're a teacher in school, put them on your desk. Sometimes we just need something to look up to and put a smile on our face. It may be a picture of your family from Christmas where Johnny didn't want to be in the picture. He was having a rough night, but then he squeezed between Uncle John and Aunt Susan's legs, you know. So those pictures really, they're stories with them. And the ones that make you feel good are your favorite photos, and those are the ones you're going to want to have around you. I also suggest to clients to use digital photo frames. These are great ways to be able to view a lot of photos in different times. You can have one in your living room. You can even give one to grandma in Florida, and you can drop a photo on grandma's photo frame and she can see it within seconds. She can see what little Johnny did today, or you could see baby taking the first steps, or see a little video of Johnny talking, little goos and ahs. You know, grandma loves that stuff. Grandmas eat it up. Come on. So take those pictures of the daily things and then enjoy it as you go along. You're making history right now, so I really suggest to continue. These are the important times. And everybody has a story to tell. And believe it or not, even right now, you might think these are normal times. These are stories that you're going to want to tell at some point in time. And Philip, can you kind of wrap us up here by telling the photos that we want for our legacy and how we can use photos to carry on and tell a family's legacy for the future generations?
Yeah. So when we think of leaving a legacy, we tend to think of money or property, but there are a lot more important intangible legacies to be left, and photos can be an integral part of that legacy, because they tell the stories of a family's character and values. Photos help build family bonds, and they communicate identity. They also open opportunities for conversations between generations. Just like Patty was talking about having a photo book out and having grandparents see their grandchildren, the conversations between those generations may surprise you as to what stories come out. The photos of past generations give us a glimpse into their world, and they amplify and illustrate the stories that have been passed down from our parents and grandparents. So your great-great-grandchildren will thank you for a photo estate that is concise, organized, and has the metadata that tells them not just the family genealogy, but the family history as well. So seeing your photos as a part of your estate that will be passed down gives you a goal that isn't just what you want to do with your photos right now, but what you want your descendants to know about you. So looking through the photos that you already have in your collection, and then thinking about what photos you want to be taking of upcoming events and daily life. These are forming a photo legacy that you will leave to future generations. Unfortunately, one of the realities of the digital age is that we take a lot of photos, like 1.4 trillion photos. So we will need to cull down the number of photos that we want to pass on. This isn't to say don't take photos. It's just that not all the photos will be the best to tell your story. The more you can curate your collection, the better. And this is one area that many of our clients ask for our help with. Think about what your photos are communicating. What might you want to capture that is not currently in your collection? These often come from the candid snapshots of everyday life taken over the years, and the more formal family portraits that show a family's growth over time. So thinking about Valentine's Day, which is the next gift-giving holiday that's coming up, in addition to those chocolates or flowers, or instead of, may I suggest that you find a photo of a loved one that is meaningful to you or will be meaningful to them, and then perhaps actually take a picture of them using with that photo.
These are gifts that will last forever. Unlike flowers or chocolate that are great and wonderful ideas, this is something that you will have forever.
Yep.
And they're meaningful, just taking the time to, remember, what you've experienced with those loved ones are really important. And I think, make a perfect gift, and an easy gift at that.
Yeah. So I hope you all have learned some things that will keep you motivated and have a goal beyond just your pictures being neat and tidy. I want to thank Diana and Patty for being with us to talk about sticking to that resolution to get your photos organized. We would love to hear from you, your thoughts, your questions in the comment section below. And be sure to share this video with your friends and family that could use some motivation and some help. We look forward to seeing you next time when we talk about the backups and preservation of your photo collection. See you then.